The Pakistani authorities could be watching you right now. They have the ability to listen to your phone conversations, read text messages, and monitor your internet activity. Amnesty International has released a comprehensive 102-page report that claims that Pakistan has one of the most intrusive digital and telecommunication surveillance regime in the world. This report, titled Shadows of Control, Censorship and Mass Surveillance in Pakistan, reveals the inner workings of a nationwide surveillance machine that has the ability to monitor and surveil millions of people. This includes wiretapping, surveillance through phones and biometric systems, and controlling online traffic. What's more is that this system is built using equipment provided by a global supply chain, which includes countries such as Germany, China, France, Canada, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States. The system has two main components. One, the Web Monitoring System, also called the WMS 2.0, and two, the Lawful Intercept Management System, also called LIMS. The Web Monitoring System is a digital firewall that monitors and controls internet traffic in Pakistan, similar to China's Great Firewall. It allows the government to filter websites and social media platforms, create disruptions in internet speeds, and control internet traffic across the entire country. Team Soch spoke to Jurre Van Bergen, technologist at Amnesty International, to learn more.
This is, I think, more frequently kind of said as like the national firewall of Pakistan. It has the ability to really able to zoom in into someone's life, which websites they might be visiting, and able to kind of like review, the identity of a person behind an IP address. Yes, it's a censorship kind of machine, but it has surveillance kind of capabilities once you start combining several databases to it.
In other words, this system can collect digital footprints of ordinary users. That data is then collated and can be used by the government or security agencies to make decisions about blocking certain websites or even targeting individuals. All of this is done without any transparency. Now, we all have experience with internet outages and shutdowns because authorities in Pakistan routinely censor the internet. But these tactics can severely undermine civil liberties in what is supposed to be a democratic system. Let's illustrate this with an example. In February 2024, access to the social media platform X was blocked in Pakistan around the time of the general elections. This blockade coincided with protests and widespread criticism alleging that the elections were rigged. The ban lasted until May 2025, during which anyone wanting to access the platform had to rely on VPNs. A few months after the ban, in December 2024, the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority doubled down and further announced that people using VPNs must register them with the state, otherwise they would face legal action. But while the platform was banned, government officials, including ministers and the Prime Minister, continued to post on X. This means that the state fully realized the platform's value as a tool for political messaging and awareness, but sought to monopolize access to information during this crucial time in the country's history. Let's talk about legality. All of this is enabled by a law called PICA, which stands for the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act. This draconian law gives sweeping powers to authorities to block online content on vague grounds such as national security, public order, religious sanctity, or morality. In reality, though, it has been used to silence dissent, intimidate journalists and activists, and justify blanket restrictions on digital spaces. Now, let's talk about LIMS, or the Lawful Intercept Management System. This is a surveillance tool that can capture phone calls, text messages, and internet activity.
So the LIMS system is a kind of a wiretapping system. And how this works is that this wiretapping system is installed at the telecommunications providers So voice calls can be intercepted, text messages can be intercepted. They are able to see your location of where this phone is located. They're able to do kind of analysis of like, these are the kind of people you frequently phone.
Under orders from the Pakistan Telecommunications Authority, all telecom companies are required to implement the Lawful intercept management system. According to Amnesty's report, all major operations in the country, including Mobilink, Warid, Ufone, Telenor, and Zong, have this technology installed in their data centers. This means that whenever intelligence agencies such as the Inter-Services Intelligence and the Intelligence Bureau demand access to user data, these companies are obliged to provide it. So what are the implications of this technology? Leaked phone calls and secret recordings are not new to Pakistani politics. They've been used for decades to unsettle the country's political landscape. But in recent years, their frequency and impact have grown dramatically. Prominent politicians, including Imran Khan, Bushra Bibi, Maryam Nawaz, and even high-level judges such as former Chief Justices of Pakistan, Saqib Nisar and Umar Ata Bandial, have all found themselves embroiled in scandals related to leaked audio conversations. Even their families have not been spared. These leaks are never accidental. Surveillance of political figures is often orchestrated and strategically released to blackmail, discredit, or control them, manipulating the political environment in the process. And this recent upsurge is no accident either. It's tied to the surveillance capability enabled by LIMS, which has made audio leaks an almost routine feature of today's political landscape. More shockingly, this system has a capacity to intercept 2% of all telecom users in the country at the same time. That means more than 4 million or 40 lakh people can be spied on simultaneously. But what is most shocking is that this system operates without any judicial oversight.
We were able to really understand from the court transcripts that this system has been running for over decades. No warrant has ever been requested in court.
More than a year before the Amnesty report came out, a ruling by the Islamabad High Court in the Bushra Imran Khan versus the Federation of Pakistan case also found the LIMS to be unlawful and unconstitutional. The court noted that while legal procedures for judicial approval do exist, such as the Fair Trial Act or the Telegraph Act, not a single request for authorization had ever been made. The court referred to this situation as frightening and damning for a rule of law democracy. Now let's talk about the global supply chain that enables this. Pakistan's surveillance system is powered by technology imported from abroad. The first generation of the Web Monitoring Firewall, or the WMS, relied on technology from the Canadian company AppLogic Network, installed in 2019. This company was previously called Sandvine. When that was phased out, Pakistan turned to a Chinese supplier, Geetgee Networks, for the WMS 2.0, whose system still incorporates components from US firm Niagara Networks and French giant Thales. Meanwhile, LIMS uses German technology from a company called UTMACO, deployed through a company in the United Arab Emirates.
Likely exports this to Data Fusion in the UAE, where we then see Data Fusion in the UAE export to the Pakistani telecommunications providers that is then bought by the telecommunications providers themselves as required by the PTA. Pakistani-based Traficor corporate entity helps them with support, deployment, and maintenance of these systems at the telecommunication provider.
This also raises serious questions about export control laws and corporate due diligence. The countries where these companies are based, such as the EU and Canada, have laws that explicitly require companies to make sure that their products do not enable human rights abuses elsewhere. Yet it seems like no due diligence was done. Both the WMS and the LIMS systems were built using taxpayers' money, with their stated aim being public safety. However, in reality, they are serious violations of fundamental human rights, putting ordinary citizens like you and I at risk of intrusive digital surveillance.